Good afternoon. Hey, how are we? Good to see you. Thank you so much for you all coming today. I have to say, I am moved by the number of people here today. We had a beautiful ceremony for our pride flag raising a week or two ago. It was a nice turnout then, and this is beautiful to see that there's a nice turnout here today. So thank you all for joining us. I'm going to be brief because we have a lot of great folks to present to you and talk to you a little bit about this special occasion. As I've become customary of saying when we all gather like this, behold how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. On behalf of the North Shore Juneteenth Association, the City of Beverly, the Office of Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion, the Beverly Race Equity Task Force, and our Beverly Public Schools, I welcome you today to our 2021 Juneteenth celebration. We are here today to celebrate and recognize our history. Not just African American history, but American history. We're here to recognize and celebrate this piece of history that has largely been omitted, ignored, or flat out dismissed. We are here to share in the recognition of this history. The more we know of each other, the more we can collectively understand each other. This is my hope, my dream for this community, for all of us, to better our understanding of each other, our history, to know where we're going, hand in hand, one in one. Thank you.
Wow. Can we just clap all together? Whew. What an incredible day. This is our first Juneteenth celebration in Beverly. Today we'll be raising the flag for our first time, and I am blown away by how many people have come together today. I'm not going to talk too long. I'm Kasia. Hi, I'm Kasia.
What are you doing, KJ?
I'm the chairperson of the Human Rights Committee here in Beverly. And I'm going to hand the mic over to Nicole McLean.
Thank you. Okay, welcome everyone. I am Nicole McLean. I'm the founder of and president of the North Shore Juneteenth Association, and I want to say thank you for being here today. This is amazing. A very great turnout for Beverly. I want to also thank Abu Toppin and Michelle McCaffrey and the local officials who worked to make this ceremony possible. Thank you for welcoming the North Shore Juneteenth Association, raising awareness about the Juneteenth holiday, and for raising the Juneteenth flag. We are here to honor African American freedom and culture as we raise the Juneteenth freedom flag. Juneteenth is recognized as a holiday in 48 states and recently became a state holiday in Massachusetts last year. And I'm going to have to add, last night it passed for being a federal holiday in the Senate. So that is amazing. This holiday commemorates the 2-year delay and then finally the notice of freedom given to enslaved Black men, women, and children. We raised this flag in recognition of June 19th, 1865, when General Gordon Granger rode into Galveston, Texas, and announced General Order Number 3, which states, "The people of Texas are informed that in accordance with a proclamation from the Executive of the United States, all slaves are free. This involves an absolute equality of personal rights and rights of property between the former masters and slaves, and the connection heretofore existing between them becomes that between employer and hired labor. The freedmen are advised to remain quietly at their present homes and work for wages. They are informed that they will not be allowed to collect at military posts and that they will not be supported in idleness either there or elsewhere. While the order was critical to expanding freedom to enslaved people, the racist language used in the last sentences foreshadowed the fight for equal rights would continue, and continue it has. I must add, before this order, slave owners in Mississippi, Louisiana, and other points east had been migrating to Texas to escape the Union Army's reach. In a hurried reenactment of the original Middle Passage, more than 150,000 slaves were forced to make the trek west. After this order was given, it still took 2 full years before enslaved Black Americans were able to celebrate Juneteenth. Former slave owners continued to enforce their power over the freed men, women, and children, killing Black families, oppressing Black men, women, and children, and cruelly punishing them in every way imaginable. 250,000 slaves were living in Galveston, Texas during the first Juneteenth celebration that took place in June 19, 1867. The events of 2020 shined a huge light on the fight for basic human rights that has continued since Black men, women, and children arrived on the shores of this country. The disparities in health care that COVID-19 made apparent, the deaths of George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, more recently Daunte Wright, Daniel Floyd, and so many more at the hands of law enforcement have all shown the fight continues daily for absolute equality of personal rights and rights of property for Black Americans. This flag represents hope and resilience. This flag represents how far we have come. In 1865, enslaved Black people began to build a life for themselves in America and to reunite forcefully separated families and to make decisions for themselves. Doing so despite having nowhere to go or any financial foundation from which to start. This flag represents how far we have come and how far we still have yet to go. Created by Ben Haith in 1997, the design of the Juneteenth flag depicts a bursting new star on the horizon. The star represents a freedom, a new hope for the future. The red, white, and blue colors are used to show that enslaved Black Americans and their descendants are also a part of America and American history. It shows that Black American history is American history. Juneteenth is the oldest known celebration of Black American freedom. The North Shore Juneteenth Association is honored to share this holiday with you. Our organization was established in 2017 with the mission of spreading awareness about Juneteenth, educating the broader community about positive aspects of Black American culture, and dismantling racism by using events and programming as tools for change. We invite you to join us on Facebook and Instagram at NS Juneteenth. We are honored to celebrate Juneteenth and this Juneteenth flag raising with you. Thank you for joining together today to celebrate Juneteenth. Can I get a happy Juneteenth? Thank you.
Beautiful words. Thank you so much. Now can we have Mayor Michael Cahill please give a few remarks?
Good afternoon, everybody. There's no following Nicole. That was fantastic, and thank you. Let me just do 2 things if I could. One is, we've got a lot of tremendous local leadership in Beverly. I want to thank all the members of our Human Rights Committee, including Kezia, the chair. So if you could raise your hand if you're a Human Rights Committee member, because I know a bunch of you are here. Thank you all. Thank you all for the work you're doing. We also have a whole lot of our Beverly Public School leadership here today. I want to recognize Dr. Sue Chirocic and thank her for all of her leadership and that of the many other members. I see principals all around the yard here, so it's great to see all of you. You've done an amazing job this past year. You really have, every one of you. And also, we have a lot of our local elected officials here. I'm just going to try to go around and recognize you. If I miss you, please raise your hand. I see State Senator Joan Lovely over here. Thank you, Senator. Julie Curtis, one of our local Democratic State Committee members. State Representative Jerry Paracella. From our school committee, I believe I saw a school committee president and our Ward 1 representative, Rachel A. Bell. And from our city council, I see Ward 1 City Councilor Todd Rotundo. Ward 2 City Councilor Estelle Rand. City Councilor at Large Julie Flowers. And now I need help in case I missed anybody. I don't want to miss anybody, but okay, thank you all for being here. And the only message I want to add is what a joy and an honor it is to be with you today and getting the chance to hold the microphone for a couple minutes. Nicole? Where's Nicole? Where'd she go? She's still here. Okay. What Nicole said, perfect. Celebrating the culture, the history, the struggle, the success, the freedom of African Americans in America. I'm honored and humbled to be part of today's celebration. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Nicole, we have a poet. I'm not sure if he's here yet. Is Nicole still around? Here she comes. Nope. Then we will turn to a person who I am proud to introduce. Many of you know him already. He has become a good friend of mine, mentor, confidant. What else? Please, everybody, let's welcome Dr. Andre Morgan, who is our Director of Opportunity, Access, and Equity for our school system.
Well, good afternoon. All right, it's cooler day, so let's try it again. Good afternoon. All right, wonderful to each of you. I'm so excited to be among you today and to celebrate. I suppose that the invitation came by virtue of serving as the Director of Opportunity, Access, and Equity for Beverly Public Schools. But I'm also here as a black man celebrating our freedom. You know, one of the things that I learned I've learned as a result of a historical context and participating in Juneteenth celebrations in the past is that you don't ever do anything by yourself. And so I shared this platform today with a community of people that work tirelessly each day to ensure that every student has the capacity to be successful in their learning, that each student has opportunities for success, and that we're giving each student what he or she needs to be successful, so that they can see their own utopias, so they can feel belongingness and relevance, so they can see themselves represented in classrooms, so they can feel successful regardless of the hue of their skin. So there's no colorism, so there's no imposter syndrome, so there's no self-hate, so students can just be and learn and appreciate differences when we've been taught so ardently to fear them. My collaborators that are here today in this space include School District Superintendent Dr. Sue Chirocic, Assistant Superintendent Dr. Dorothy Flaherty, members of our school committee, Mrs. Rachel A. Bell, and the Honorable Mayor Michael Cahill. We have three of our principals in the space today, Julie Smith, Aaron Sweeney, and Betty Taylor. We have several of our phenomenal staff, our students, and our families who are among us today, and so we're so very grateful to be here in celebration. On last evening, I was a part of an equity and inclusion committee meeting at one of our elementary schools. And the conversation at the table was, how do we build stronger connections and relationships among our students, parents, teachers, and community stakeholders in order to build greater awareness and empathy towards one another? And one of the members asked, why are we even doing this? And what's the goal? So after thinking about it for a minute, I started to respond. And in my response, I noted what was happening across the nation and indirectly asked, now as a district, can we really afford to ignore this with our students? I also noted the necessity in helping our students to become the leaders in the future that make the kinds of changes that we talk about on a day-to-day basis that are so very necessary to advance our society and all of its people. And I suppose what I was really suggesting was that as a school community, it's important to give our students the academic tools to be competitive in a future society, but it's also critical to help them develop a moral compass so that they can stand up to address the inequities that they witness and experience over the span of their lives, and so that they can help people who really aren't free. So right after I commented, I started to think about the celebration of Juneteenth, because this day correlates to understanding a moral compass. Yes, it is a time to pause and remember, to reflect and to celebrate freedom, Black culture, and tradition, and also recommit ourselves to preserving freedom for all people. And although the day is specific to the Black experience in this country, the day should be celebrated by all races, backgrounds, and experiences, because the end of slavery was a moral milestone, a victory for all humanity. Both those who endured slavery and those who worked to end it should remind each of us of the capacity of humanity, both its resilience in the face of evil and its resolve to overcome it. Those who risked their lives and gave their lives in pursuit of Black freedom weren't only Black. And as a Black man born into this world, I, along with many of you here, inherited this freedom. And I once heard that the problem with inheritance is that it doesn't have to be earned. And if that really holds true, it does not and should not take away our moral obligation to work each and every day to protect, preserve, and strengthen the freedoms of all people. So Juneteenth is the combination of the month of June and the 19th day of the month, and was not the actual day President Abraham Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation ordered the rebel Confederate States of America to free their enslaved on September the 22nd, 1862. So listen to this. I can imagine that after hearing the news that slaves were free, that Black people were shocked. Some were afraid, some were angry, some were anxious, some were jubilant, and then others had a combination of these emotions. Because see, when you are in something for so long, sometimes it just becomes a part of your psyche. Captivity is not only a physical predicament, but it's also a mental state. And when we hear about the injustices that are going on in our communities and across our nation, and we stand back passively and we don't speak up, then we perpetuate that spirit of captivity. Today, 159 years after Black people in Texas received the news that they were free, our feet and our minds can take us wherever we like. But that doesn't mean that we enjoy full freedom. We are free, and great gains have certainly been made because of the countless sacrifices of Black and white people whose faces and names are unknown to us and who endured atrocious indignities and horrors. But the fight for freedom continues today. And if you need any evidence of that freedom being threatened, all you need to do is turn on the television and listen to the ways our voting rights are being threatened and undermined each day. You need only to look at the unemployment rates in communities of color. Or how about racial and ethnic disparities in mass incarcerations? Or the continued growth of the racial wealth gap? We're fighting, folks, each day against injustices in our society. And so while the struggle continues, and so must the fight for full freedom, this is why, if you've been standing or sitting there asking why we stand these lessons up in the school, this is why we do it. And so it's important for us to continue this work around developing not just an academic baseline, but a moral compass for each and every one of our students, regardless of their race, their background, or their experiences. In closing, I want to share a poem by Langston Hughes entitled, appropriately, Freedom. And it reads, freedom will not come today, this year, nor ever, through compromise and fear. I have as much right as the other fellow to stand on my own 2 feet and own the land. I tire so of hearing people say, let things take their course, tomorrow is another day. I do not need my freedom when I'm dead. I cannot live on tomorrow's bread. Freedom is a strong seed, plant it, in great need. I live here too. I want my freedom just as you. Happy Juneteenth.
Now, do we have Big Brother Sadi? Please welcome him for a poem for us.
Peace. How y'all doing today? Good to see everybody here. I didn't envision all this. I came on my comfort, then y'all here. So I'm just gonna start with a story of a black child. Black frown, black smile, brown eyes, clear tears, baggy fit, black style. Addict to nicotine, got him puffing on blacker miles. Got him in shackle cups, cages. Come on, it's not that wild. Does what it does for a reason, he ain't stupid, fam. Surviving his madness, got him thinking of Superman. Black child, who's the man? His boys say, you the man. Go ahead, do your thing. Police like, damn, you again. Potential hooligan. One of all Jews and things. Once had a dream like Martin Luther King of becoming an intelligent black man. White pages and black pen, that was back then. Now it's green papers and Mac 10s. First it was smack, then it was crack. Fam don't know how to act when sipping on black labels and Jack Dan's. Always hustling something. Refuse to lose. It's double or nothing. Expected to start trouble or something. This is struggle, no fronting. Flexing muscle and stunting. If the cash I'm flowing, I'm packing the duffel, I'm hunting. I am living the motherland for this other land. Now brother man's on the 5th floor. Next door to Mr. Gutterman, got a Bible in one hand and a rifle in the other hand and a long lost hope. To his $1 million plan, I heard Mother Africa hollering, black child, it's time to come back home. Your route to self-destruction got to end. Playing that game, I see you not that grown. Mama says it's time to come back home. Try to do this alone. Far from home, in a zone, on his own. Mama says it's time to come back home. The kid's handles the chrome, else to the dome, the streets he roams. Mama says it's time to come back home, rocking a crown on his dome. Sitting on chrome, need to sit on our throne. Mama says it's time to come back from playing around too. Playing for real in the streets. The black child playground where it all starts. Here now is a no star. Balling out hard and buying our bars, didn't know just a matter of time before it all fall apart. Black child playing with chrome nickels and black nines with sex, drugs, money on his young black mind. Playing turf, flag sign, fellow black children killed for crossing that line. Playing with power lit in the black on black crime. Now the law is starting trouble with. Why the folks struggle with rent? Working the overtime or maybe a double shift. Hoping to turn on the phone this week. Hoping the children's are home and sleep. But children alone, they creep and roam the streets like they own the piece of what? The system, man, listen, it's all prison. Concord, Middleton, Rock-a-Silence, Sing Sing, Attica, divided state of Africa, United States of America, just passing on the trap along with traditions of Babylon, crack along, kept black children in battle zones. African try hard to get along in the States, still at war back at home. Divided and conquered under strife, pain, and hunger. We went from genesis to genocide. Beef between the east side and the west side of your home is homicide. The life is do or die, and all you can do is die. You will not know it's suicide. Black child, you are Christ, and you ought to be crucified. You would die in the flesh, but in spirit you will rise. Somebody say higher. Now here's the situation, right? You escape one place of bondage. That was captivity. And guess what you do? You go to another plantation, another captivity. You understand what I'm saying? Just when you think you're free, because you're looking at freedom over there, the grass is green, right? Once you get there, just to realize you just got yourself into another situation because your mind is free. Just look at this, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 immigrants from seashore to seashore, expecting to see more than they ever seen before. Reality struck. They had to be checked just to be sure. They all got to look in the face like, what are you looking at me for? Young females want to be whores. Males intended to be commanders of street war. Claiming your spot, no heart. Not the shortcut, you taking a detour. Whether you pack heat or keep it real with fist fight, you're going to see war and hard time. No matter whether you be rich or you be poor. I thought I got out of trouble when I escaped Kinshasa. Came to dwell with the sinners at LY-double-N. Seems like the bubbling, guzzling champagne at the bars. We shorties wobbling on the real. Them ballers and bubbling, they're really struggling. Lifestyle based on flexing, muscle and hustling and playing rat a cat with the law. Trouble doubling, guns they busting them, cops be busting them. Thanks God I ain't get caught smuggling my puzzling style of rum juggling. That's beautiful, isn't it? Third word. That's right, you heard of it. The word is yours, only working with a third of it. Keep your head up, still in preservative. Observing the system, take it from the needy and give it to the greedy. See me cry, but I won't care if I die like they don't need me. Believe me, that one government tried to have his whole planet in control like Janet. Politics is part of the game, they call it monopoly. Try to explain it to my people, but they take it sloppily. So pardon me as I claim this to be my property. My people spill blood, sweat, and tears for this here. Mix it a part of me. Did they say third word? We shouldn't class properly. They probably heard of words such as poverty, but probably don't believe in it while we're living it. From home to the stage, striving to go home with a plate. Those of y'all that are far from home can relate to all what you create. What I know about this foreign affair, it's a game. Every player want to be like Mike Jordan in here. It's a game, like I say. How am I doing with the time? Almost there? All right. Oh, did I introduce myself when I walked in? Oh, damn, I'm sorry. Let me introduce myself. I won't say the name, but I'm just going to say what I am. See, I'm a couple of things, you know. I'm a beast, a man, a king, a priest, and a god. I battle the beast that's holy war / peace to the gods, taking it back to the east where it starts. Meanwhile, wild in the west, my brother said, easy, no star. Look, towards the east is a star. See where I'm going with that. Once was deceived to believe without knowing the facts, then learning it was to believe without knowing. In fact, knowledge the found way. The groundation, we're growing on that. I rank higher in the army that strike down the entire empire of vampires with brimstones and fire, lock, load, and fire. Big brother, the godly truth, and the God liar, yeah, he's good. I play West in the Clint Eastwood. The West was one. Babylon fell right where his stood. He or she loses. What's the G-rap? Ill street blues. 4 cornerstones around my building block. That's priesthood. Heights. You see my crew walking out of here doing one. This thing had to stay behind. Defeated the whole purpose. Thank y'all. I'm going to do it again. Without it around my neck, right?
Amen. Amen. So, folks, what we're going to do now is we're close to raising our flag. I have a couple of helpers today to help us do that. There they are. Please give a warm welcome to Beverly and Dexter Hood. Hello.
Hello. Hi.
I'm proud of these two for joining us today and helping us with this special occasion. Um, while we're doing that, Nicole, do we have our while our young friends are going to help us raise the flag, we are going to be honored to have Martina Campbell, who will sing the Black National Anthem for us, Lift Every Voice and Sing. Quick note, for those of you who know from the pride flag, we're going to go right here to raise the flag. So if you can all kind of congregate a little bit over to the side, please.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring. Ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Let us march on till victory is won.
All right, can we give a hand to Dexter and Beverly? Thank you. I'd just like to, before we close out, I want to give a couple of words to the chairperson of our cultural subcommittee of our Beverly Race Equity Task Force, January O'Neill.
Thank you. This has been a terrific event, and one of the ways that we hope to bring the city together through inclusion and equity, and it's been terrific working with Abu and Michelle and the Culture Committee, some of whom are here, and with the mayor. So thank you all for coming out. What a wonderful event. I've been here, I've been a resident for 17 years. My kids have come up through the Beverly school system. They're right there. They hate when I embarrass them. And I teach at Salem State, and I'm a part of this community as much as I can. So it's just wonderful to see so many people. So now that we are all out and about, I hope that you all get a chance to just turn to the person next to you and say hello, how wonderful it is that we can gather in public. So and I'm thrilled that we're here for Juneteenth. So happy Juneteenth, everyone. What a wonderful day, wonderful flag raising. Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Happy Juneteenth.
This was a beautiful day, and I don't just mean the sun in the sky. Thank you, everyone, for your heart, your minds, your understanding, your love, and your desire for us to be a better country, community. Together, we can do this. Together, we can. But thank you all again very much. I very much appreciate everything, all of you being here. It really does warm my heart to see this community moving in the right direction of better understanding and growth and development together. Look out for more things. This is not it. This is not it. We have a lot of conversation to have, a lot of discovery, and a lot of growth together. So be on the lookout. Thank you and God bless. Have a good day.